It supports keyboard and mice like nobody's business. For example, you could do a click and drag, and you could do a right mouse click, and that works no problem. The scroll button feels like you're scrolling when you're in front of the computer itself. Hello everyone, Michael here from the Daily Note 2 YouTube channel, and last time I reviewed the app Splashtop, it was an excellent solution to connect to your home computer remotely. But if you're looking to do that for your work computer because you use Windows computers at work, or if you're in the IT industry and you manage Windows servers for a living, definitely Remote Desktop is the best app for that. So let me do a quick connection here. And I'll do this over LTE. Okay, so for starters, the reason why it's better is that you could see it only is using about 20 to 40 kilobytes a second, whereas you see Splash Desktop or Splashtop, it uses about 450, even if you're not doing anything with all the background and animations disabled. It is still using about 8 times more data, and you will find that to be the case in most of these apps. So definitely I think that is probably the biggest selling point. Now before I cover all the positives of this app, I want to go over the drawbacks. One is that in order for you to use this, you need to have a professional version of Windows. For example, if you have a home computer, most likely you have like a Windows 7 Home Edition or Windows Windows XP Home Edition, right? But if you're at work, most likely you have a professional edition, and it is because they put in capabilities like this, and you need to have what's called remote settings in here, and in here there's a remote desktop option, and you won't have this option on the home edition. Okay, and another point of this app is it is $15 right now, the Xtralogic Remote Desktop app, and I think it's a good deal. You probably will make that up probably the first month that you use it, just for the data savings, right? Or you'll make it up in a couple of months. I bought it for $25 2 years ago, and I thought it was a great purchase. Unlike Splash Desktop, which only requires your username and password, this app will take a little bit more for you to get it working. For example, if you want to access your work computer, you probably need to connect to a VPN first, or need to ask your IT admin, if you're not the IT admin, to add it to the remote desktop gateway. And then after you make that VPN connection, you could connect to the computer. So it's a little bit more complicated, but after you get it down the first time, it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so let's go over the good things about this app. So, well, this might be a negative or a positive, but when you connect with this app, for example, I'm connected to my computer, right, to my laptop in front of me for this demo. And if I look at the monitor of my laptop, it is in this lock screen, where you see the icon and you could click on it to log in. So yeah, it locks the screen, and you cannot have this screen displayed here and screen displayed on your computer monitor at the same time. It's just not how it's designed, and it is probably a good security feature, but probably works a little bit differently than you expected if you see it for the first time. Okay, another thing is that you'll see that the CPU usage, if you remember the Splashtop, I pointed out that the CPU usage was always at 50%. Well, it's basically using 0% of the CPU. I think it must be using the GPU somehow to calculate which parts of the image to send over, and it's doing it very efficiently. I want to point it out again because it is so important. The data savings, right? Imagine if you were to connect to your work computer and put together like a PowerPoint presentation, or work on something. you could do that literally for 8 times longer. Like you could do it for 8 hours instead of 1 hour. Splashtop, it requires this little service, and if you're not logged into the computer, or if the computer is locked, you'll find that you cannot connect to your computer. And it's sometimes that might be like a showstopper, right? You forgot to log in and it's not running and you just can't connect to the computer. Definitely not an issue with this app, because it's using a Windows service, which is part of the operating system. So all you need to do is have the computer on and you should be able to connect to it. And one last thing for people who are looking to use this app to connect to their work computer and get a lot of work done when they're outside is that it supports keyboard and mice like nobody's business. For example, you could do a click and drag, and you could do a right mouse click, and that works no problem. The scroll button feels like you're scrolling when you're in front of the computer itself. So they map these buttons correctly, and I can't say the same thing for other remote desktop or Splashtop type apps out there. Even though it does it most of the times, I feel like sometimes I press on some of the buttons and it doesn't register properly on the other apps, whereas this app seems rock solid. Okay, and for the IT people who are looking to use this to manage servers, right? Let me show you a couple of options in here that you'll find interesting. Oh, before I do that, I want to show you one important thing. Enable compression. That's the part where it uses 1/8 the data, and it really doesn't seem to impact the performance at all. Doesn't use any, might use maybe like 5% more of the CPU. It's like negligible. Make sure this is always checked. Whatever you do, it seems to not affect anything, and it's always good. Okay, and a couple of other things is for you admins out there, this will be important. There's this connect to console. One last thing I want to mention is that it has this touch mode, just like Splashtop. It has those 2 modes, and it registers as click, but it does not do air view, unfortunately, and hopefully that will get incorporated in the future. Just a little bit loss of functionality, but I think once again for the data savings, that rules all. So that's the end of this video. So please comment, hit like, and subscribe. This is Michael, and once again, thank you for watching.